Normally, Malaysian, based on my decades of experience talking to many Malaysian in the way they invest, is that they like to adopt isolated investing approach when they want to actually accumulate their wealth. For that matter, for this matter that we're talking about here, is talking about retirement asset. Okay, so what are the characteristics of isolated investing? Isolated investing are the approach whereby people always say, okay, mana ada jalan? Where is a good investment opportunity now? Now should we invest in gold? Or should we invest in bond? No, because now that the yield is quite good. So this the investor do not have the idea of diversification, always want to find the best investment opportunity at that point of time. And try to make a killing from that situation. So this is what I call isolated investing approach. And when someone who has an isolated investing approach, when they invest, they may fall in love, they may like a certain investment asset. For example, they like property a lot. So they'll buy this property, sell this property, buy some more property, and accumulate more properties. They do not consider to say, oh, actually, out of my total wealth that I have got, how many percent of it is already in properties? So that's why some of these isolated investing practitioners, they may end up having like 90% or 95% of their total wealth is in properties. There's no diversification, or there's no diversification outside Malaysia. No, not in their consideration. Or those people who like to invest in share, people who like to actually go and buy IPO share or small cap shares, then they also take whatever money they have got, take whatever saving they have got to buy more shares. Okay, you ask them, do you have property? Oh no, I don't like property. So there's no diversification to properties. We ask them to invest into outside Malaysia. Oh no, that is something that I'm not familiar with, so I don't do. So there is no consideration about that. And isolated growth. When someone adopt isolated investing, the person always pay too much attention, or pay his only attention to the return of the particular investment that he's hot with. Say, for example, if he's now very hot with this glove stock, wow, when the glove stock do like 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, wow, then they'll feel very high, they feel very successful to say that, you see, I got investment that I've done 40% return from this investment. So that is their attention. I'm very successful, I have accumulated a lot. But if you ask them, how many shares have you bought? Oh, actually, I bought maybe 30,000. And this 30,000 is comprised how many percent of your total wealth? Oh, actually, it's only 2% of my total wealth. Then what happened to the rest of your 98% of wealth? Actually, I don't know, because the rest of it is like not getting my attention. I'm now very hot on this glove stock. So this is a characteristic of someone who's been practicing isolated investing. Okay, now, year after year, maybe I'm experienced enough. I've been in this business for the past 23 years. I've seen the pattern of how their wealth grow for those people who practice isolated investing. You can see they start with 2.7 million. Along the way, the wealth may go up, but when the luck is good, when the bet is right, but when the bet is not correct, it go down. It may go up, it may go down. And a lot of times, after 3 years, after 6 years, they're still back to square. Or some of the time, if they make big loss in the share market, or some make a big loss in property investment, they may end up in a worse situation 5 years later. So I'm sure you will think that this is not a very enviable position to be in. Okay, so next. So what's the proven approach? For my 23 years of working with many clients who have not retired, eventually retired successfully, and now enjoying their retirement, I'll find using a holistic investing approach will help the client to grow the wealth with more certainty, sustain their wealth growth for the longest period of time. Okay, so this is something I believe that can add value to many investors if you are willing to open your mind to such an idea. Number one, when we talk about holistic investing, we do not chase for opportunity this month, next month, this year, next year. We don't. We study the history, we study the nature of economy. We understand that there are certain investments, they were certain to grow and they'll always rise in the long term. Like for example, the shares, the equities across the world. Like for example, some properties in a good location, they always rise. So when they always rise, they always beat inflation. So that fit very well into our retirement asset growth that's supposed to support our retirement lifestyle. So that is the key strategy. And when someone apply a holistic investing approach, we are talking about diversification. We are not only talking about country diversification, but we are talking about global diversification across different asset classes, so that whatever opportunity happen to that particular asset class, we are in it to benefit, we are in it to enjoy the return and the growth. So when China is growing strongly, we have a share into it. When the technology stock is doing very well, we have share into it. When the growth stock is doing very well, we have a share into it. That is the way that we should invest our retirement asset. And when we measure the growth for our holistic investing approach, we are looking at not only 100,000 grow how much, 50,000 grow how much. We are talking about the 5 million wealth that you have got, the 8 million wealth that we have got, that's supposed to aim for our retirement. What is the growth rate of this 8 million total wealth that I have got? Okay, remember in George case study just now, we should be looking for 8% return. So here, that's where holistic investing is to invest and aim for the return and use it to as a benchmark to measure progress based on the benchmark set from the holistic retirement planning. So you can see the linkage here. Okay, so if I were to conclude, I would say isolated investing, despite the fact that the person who apply it can be very busy, can be very hardworking, can read a lot of information, talk to a lot of people, but I would say the success very much depends on luck. Sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't make it. And that is quite risky when we're talking about accumulating our money for our serious financial goal like retirement. Whereby, when it comes to holistic investing, it is definitely boring, because you just diversify, and then you just put into some of the solid asset. Nothing cool. This is not NFT. This is not cryptocurrency. This is not private mandate. This is not P2P. Nothing cool at all. But it works. Okay, you just need to make sure that you diversify your asset to all this solid investment and practice it, diversify it, maintain it, okay, monitor it, review it. As long as you put in the discipline to manage it, you can be sure to see the success of the investment.